Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. I am Madam Yusnaliza. Today we are going to discuss question 2 final exam July 2021 for FAR210 and question 2 is on Mfrs 116 property, plant and equipment. We'll be looking at how to answer the question step by step. So this is the company Inokis Berhad, which specializes in production and high quality production of high quality medical tools. So medical tools and small appliances in a Tasik Industrial Park. So these are the business of the company, which is to produce medical tools and small appliances. So due to the increasing demand for the healthcare facilities and appliances, the company received high demand for that medical appliances. In order to meet the increasing demand, the company purchased a specialized equipment. So the specialized equipment was purchased on 21st of May. So this is actually the date of acquisition for the new specialized equipment. So these are the details of the cost incurred for the specialized equipment. You have the purchase price. So this is the purchase price. And then you have your import duty. This is directly attributable cost. The engineer fees. This is directly attributable cost. Pre-production testing, shipping and transportation costs. Right, so we have to go and determine whether or not pre-production testing is it the so-called directly attributable cost. But let's read the question first. Inoki received a trade discount of 5% from the purchase price. So the trade discount of 5% shall be deducted from the purchase price. And also it has an estimated useful life of 10 years. So this is telling you the life or the characteristic or the features of the asset. And then it has no residual value. So residual value is normally relevant for the calculation of depreciation for straight line method. This is relevant if it's using straight line method. And that is confirmed here where it is using straight line method and monthly basis. Monthly basis means you are going to charge month to month depreciation starting from the date of acquisition. Or the date of acquisition is when the asset is available for use. The company closes the account on the 31st of December each year. On 30th of October 2020, so the date of purchase was 21st of May. So that was the date of purchase, 21st of May 2017. Right, this is the date of purchase. And you are informed that due to the cost ineffective of maintaining the specialized equipment, the company sold the specialized equipment, the one that was being bought and that was being sold. So that is on the date of disposal. So this will involve acquisition as well as disposal. Only that the date of disposal is in 2020. October 20. So you need to take note on these two important dates. Right. Let's look at the requirement of the question. You asked to first explain briefly whether or not the specialized equipment is an asset. Is it an asset? Right. So you need to look at whether it is an asset in accordance with the definition under Malaysian Conceptual Framework for Financial Reporting. So before we look at the explanation, let us just revise the three criteria in the definition of asset. So if you can still recall, it is where present economic resources are controlled by the entity as a result of past event, and where an economic resource here is a right that has potential to produce economic benefits. So how do we explain that in the context of the specialized equipment? Yes, you need to go and say yes or no whether or not specialized equipment is an asset. Here is yes. Why? Because the decision is very important as well as the reason. So the reason should be explained in the light of the three criterion that you have here. The first one, it is a present economic resource controlled by the entity. So explain what is meant by the term control. Here the term control is where it is being used at the company's discretion to produce medical tools and appliances. The second one is on the second criteria as a result of past events. So the company purchased it, right? The date of purchase. Date of purchase is 21st of May 2017. Next, as the company has the right to use the specialized equipment, this is relating to the third criteria. So the right, economic resource is a right. So when you purchase the asset, you are the owner of the asset. You have the decision to decide over the use of the asset. So that will then result in expected cash inflow. So here, the cash inflow would be from the cash collected from the customer who bought medical tools and appliances. These are relating to the potential to produce economic benefits, the one here. So there are two things that you need to explain in the third criteria. One is about economic resource is a right. The second one is on the potential of that economic resource to produce economic benefits. Next is the second part of the question. You are asked to explain briefly whether the specialized equipment now satisfy the definition of property, plant and equipment. Definition of property, plant and equipment, or the PPE, is in accordance with Mfrs 116. So let's just revise the definition of PPE first. So the PPE under Mfrs 116, property, plant and equipment, is tangible items. There are tangible items that are held for use in production, supply of goods or services, for rental to others, or for administrative purposes, and they are expected to be used during more than one period, more than one reporting period, or more than 1 year. So the first part of the definition is telling you about the features of PPE, which is tangible. The second part is telling about the function of how we use the PPE. So in our case, it was used in production because that was used to produce the medical appliances and tools. And they are expected to be used during more than one period. So that is referring to the period of usage. And in our case, let's relate to our case. Yes, the specialized equipment satisfies the definition of property, plant and equipment. So this one will be very important to decide because that has to be decided in accordance with the definition of PPE, in accordance with Mfrs 116, which is the tangible item, right? That refers to the first feature here. Yeah, that is the feature part. Has physical substance. So you need to mention that it's made of steel or made of what the item equipment is. Metal, for example. It is held for use in production. So this is actually one of the 5 functions of PPE, where functions of PPE is actually here A, B, C, B, C, here is D, and E. So they are all together 5 functions. As long as any one of the 5 is met, that is considered as meeting the definition of PPE. Here it is used for production. The company used the special equipment to produce medical tools and appliances. So you need to mention not only the features or function or period of usage, but you need to relate to the case or to the question of your current situation, which is the special equipment here that was used to produce medical tools and appliances. It is expected to be used more than one period. In your case, it is expected to be used for 10 years because expected useful life was 10 years. So the 3 things are to be explained within the context of the specialized equipment. Next is to calculation of initial cost that we earlier had seen in the question. So before that, let us just revise the elements of cost or element of initial cost. So if you can still recall from the lecture, the initial cost consists of purchase price, including import duties, non-refundable purchase tax. Then you need to deduct the trade discount and rebates. Remember, the tax that are going to be included here is the non-refundable tax. And then what you need to also relate to is that it also consists of any directly attributable costs that is necessary to bring the asset to the location and condition necessary for it to be capable of operating in the manner intended by the management. So that is not the answer that is needed. Remember, I'm just doing some quick revision here. And also the initial estimates at the present value for cost of dismantling and removing the item and restoring the site on which the item is located. So let's look at our case. In our case, the purchase price, I've already marked that earlier in my previous explanation, is 2.4 million. So you can go and check the question as you are looking at the answer here. So trade discount is 5% from 2.4. So the net price is 2280. Import duty should be included, engineer fee should be included, and shipping and transportation. If you would recall in our previous slide, which is in the question itself, you would notice that the pre-production cost I did not mark. This is because this is being excluded, and this is being expense off. It is not part of expense of where to the statement of profit or loss. It is not going to be included as part of the initial cost, but the trade discount will have to be deducted. So let's go back to our part, which is on initial costs. All right. So the total initial cost would be 2.33 million. So that is the total initial cost. This is the one that you need to debit to the, if you are asked to do journal entry, this is the one that you will debit to the equipment, and that is your PPE. How much? By 2,330. This is not us, but I'm just showing you. If that is purchased in cash or bank check, that will also be credited to the bank account. So that is not required, but this is in case a journal entry is required. So the first thing that you need to take note is that number one here relates to purchase price, what I have included here, and the terms that you added here relates to number 2. So nothing in from number 3. Next, calculate the depreciation on specialized equipment for the year ended 31st of December 2017. 2017 is the year where you acquired the specialized equipment, which was somewhere in May. So let us just revise how to calculate depreciation. First, we need to go and extract the relevant information from the question. So if you can go to the question, you will be able to find this, the last sentence. The second last paragraph. The specialized equipment has an estimated life of 10 years with no residual value. So no residual value to be depreciated on a straight line method monthly basis. We already calculated the initial cost, 2.33 million. So what do we mean by straight line method? It is depreciated on cost. So when it is depreciated on cost, you need to find out what is the depreciable cost. Depreciable cost is cost minus residual value. Cost minus residual value. So residual value is nil, nothing, no residual value. So therefore, under straight line method, and then you are informed monthly basis. What is monthly basis? Month to month depreciation, which is based on proportion of the month in the financial year. Remember, our financial year is 31st of December 2017 for the one that we are concerned now. Next. So the answer would be to calculate the depreciation expense for the year ended 31st of December 2017, which would be actually from the date of acquisition up till 31st of December 2017. If you can still recall, the date of acquisition was somewhere in May. We have to go back and check that. Yeah, just to show you. So that was somewhere in May. So it is purchased in May, right? So therefore, it will be provided from May up until December, where that one would be 7 months. From May till December, so it would be 7 months. And therefore, what need to be done is that, so this would be from 1st of June, sorry, because May is already 21st of May. So 1st of June up until 31st of December. So this is actually 7 months. Now, the initial cost is 2330 million times 10% times 7 over 12, because from 1st of June, it was purchased on 21st of May. So we will start calculating the depreciation the following month, since that is not even half of a month, right? Not even 15 days in May that you own the specialized equipment. So the depreciation will be calculated starting from 1st of June. 31st of December is the year end, right? So that will be 7 months. So you will have 135917. Next, maybe you will ask the question, can I use estimated useful life to calculate the depreciation? Yes, you can. Where you can take 2330 divided by 10 years, because 10% is actually also the same as 10 years. By the end of 10 years, 10%, you will fully depreciate the asset. So you can also use the estimated useful life of 10 years divided by 10 times 7 over 12. You get the same answer. Next is just to tell you, you get the same answer. So that is our depreciation. Now you are asked to assess, which is on derecognition, assess whether the company can derecognize the specialized equipment in accordance with Mfrs 116. Before you can give the decision of whether it can be assessed or not, you need to look at what are the criteria for derecognition. So the standards requires the carrying amount of an item or PPE shall be derecognized. These are things that you must write on disposal or when there is no future economic benefits expected from the use or disposal. So in your case, the specialized equipment, remember during the lecture, you need to give the reason why you derecognize. So this is actually the reason. And you derecognize that on 30th of October on the date of disposal as the company. So this is actually the, this one is the reason. This is the reason because the company sold the specialized equipment, and this is your decision or your conclusion that why you have decided to derecognize. You decided to derecognize. It can be derecognized or it cannot be derecognized. That is your decision. That is because the company has sold the specialized equipment on 30th of October 2020. So that will give you 5 marks. Then you have the next question where you are asked to recommend the accounting treatment for the disposal of the specialized equipment to the management. So when you are asked to recommend accounting treatment, it would be in sentence form. You need to write a sentence which are based on Mfrs guidance. So the first thing that you need to do is to go and extract the information from the question. So that was from the last paragraph. Then 30th of October, that is the date of disposal. Due to the cost ineffective of maintaining the specialized equipment, the company sold the specialized equipment at 1,450,500. That is actually the disposal proceed or the selling price. So let's do the workings before we can recommend the accounting treatment. We need to go and recommend what to do in terms of the cost of the asset disposed, what to do with the accumulated depreciation of the disposed asset, remember during the lecture, and what to do with the proceed, as well as whether there is a profit or a loss. So let's look at the workings to get that. Okay, the cost of the asset that were purchased was 2330. This is the one that was being disposed. So the accumulated depreciation is using monthly basis. For monthly basis, it will be provided from the date of acquisition, which is 25th of May, up until the date of disposal, which is 30th of October 2020. For the first 3 years, so you need to provide the depreciation. For the first year, depreciation is monthly basis, so you multiply with the proportion like what we did earlier, 1359 1.17. For the second and third year, that will be exactly 1 year, right? So it will be 233 because 2.33 times 10% times 1 year will be 233. The 2019 depreciation would also be the same. So for each year, these are the depreciation charge. For the final year, the year of disposal, the asset has been with us for 10 months, which is starting from 1st of January 2020 up until 30th of October 2020. So that was for 10 months. So I can write here for you. Oh, that's not working. Never mind, we just proceed. I have already mentioned that was from 1st of January up until 30th of October, so that was 10 months. So you will total up all this depreciation and you'll get the accumulated depreciation prior to the date of disposal, and that would be 796,084. This one needs to be excluded or eliminated. So does the cost. Next is, what is the carrying value? Carrying value would be taking the cost minus the accumulated depreciation less it, and you have the less part here, which is to deduct the accumulated depreciation. So when you do that, so you have already deducted it here. Okay, you would get a carrying amount of 1.533916 million, and that will be compared with the sales proceed. This is the sale proceed, the one that was given in the question, and you will get the loss of 83,416. So this is the one that you need to explain. So what is the recommendation? So the one that you have calculated here should be explained as the first item, which is the cost of the equipment 2.33 together with the accumulated depreciation 796,084 are to be derecognized. That is actually the carrying amount. So therefore the carrying amount of 1533916, the second explanation, which is related to the carrying amount, will be derecognized from the total asset in the statement of financial position. The third part will be on the cash that you receive from the disposal. That was 1,450,500. So that one will have to be included here, which is 1,450,500. And that would increase the cash in bank, or there is actually a cash inflow. That needs to be explained as well. Then the loss from the disposal. What is the treatment for the loss? Show the calculation. Yeah, if you do not have this working next to you, you can always show the calculation in the recommendation itself, and it will be treated as an expense in the statement of profit or loss. Right, that's it. That's the end of the answer, and I would suggest you to go and replay the video so that you will be able to catch up which part that you may have missed. With that, I thank you for watching, and remember, I'll see you when I will see you with that. Thank you, and bye bye. Assalamu alaikum.